Welcome back to Vibration Mastermind. I'm Mr. Ralph. Today, we're doing something quiet but radical. We're going to locate a hidden money rule that's been running your choices, void it, and write a short replacement that you can prove true with tiny daily moves. Your frequency decides your reality.
Picture this. You land on a course that would speed your skill building. The price is within reach, but the instant checkout page loads, a voice in your head says, I shouldn't spend that. We don't do that in my family. You close the tab and call it discipline. Except what actually closed it was an invisible contract from childhood that keeps you safe from risk, but also keeps you small. Today, I'll give you a clean 3-step renegotiation you can use in 9 minutes.
Here's the promise. By the time we're done, you'll be able to 1. Identify one active money contract and its trigger. 2. Run a compact renegotiation ritual that dissolves the old clause and writes a believable replacement. And 3. Anchor that new rule with 3 tiny daily tests that convert belief change into measurable behavior. No hype, no woo. Practical mental plumbing. Let's map it out and dive in.
First, what is a subconscious contract? Think of it like an internal clause, an automatic rule your nervous system follows without asking permission. They come from family scripts, cultural messages, or a sharp single event that wrote a rule into habit. The language is short and absolute. Money is scarce. You don't ask for help. Success means losing people. Those sentences are compressed programs that run choices for you, often under a feeling, fear, guilt, or obligation.
Why do they stick? Because they pay off something. Safety, belonging, identity. Even a rule that costs you money can keep you emotionally safe. That payoff is the contract's leverage. When you understand the payoff, you can negotiate. Okay, step 1.
Step 1. Identify. I'll guide you through a short micro-audit you can do right now. Close your eyes if you can, or just slow your breathing. Bring to mind a money choice you postponed or avoided this week. Name that choice in one sentence. Now ask yourself 3 quick questions. What triggered the hesitation? What emotional payoff did the hesitation give me? And what evidence do I treat as authority for that rule? For example, trigger equals checkout page. Payoff, avoid feeling irresponsible. Evidence, my parents always worried about bills.
Let me read that again as an internal contract. If I spend on myself, I'll feel irresponsible and risk family shame. Notice the structure, a conditional and a consequence. That's the clause. Write it down in one line. If you do nothing else, write that one line. Naming it rips it out of the background and into your conscious edit window.
I remember a client who had this exact sentence. She'd pass up freelance income because year after year, she believed asking for more was greedy. Once she saw the clause on paper, she half expected fireworks. What she got was relief. The rule lost its magic because it became just ink.
Step 2. Renegotiate. This is the compact ritual. It has 3 parts: reframe, void, and write. First, reframe the origin. Say aloud, this clause started as a strategy to keep me safe then, but it no longer serves my goals now. Second, void the old clause with a short sensory anchor. Press your thumb and forefinger together. Breathe out slowly and say, void. This tiny motor action plus breath interrupts the automatic pathway. Third, write a replacement clause. Keep it short, believable, and future-oriented. Example, I allocate thoughtful money for growth and security. Small, consistent investments prove this true.
Say the new clause out loud twice while touching your anchor point. Feel the skin contact. Notice your breath. That sensory link helps the brain hook a new rule to a physical cue. This is not mystical. It's classic learning. Interrupt, repattern, reinforce.
Step 3. Anchor and test. This is the behavioral conversion step. Mandatory. Beliefs alone rarely change habit. So pick 3 tiny, repeatable tests that prove the clause. I recommend 1 micro decision, one environmental cue, one quick affirmation tied to action.
Micro decision. Make a 1% move today. Transfer 1% of an incoming payment to your savings, or spend 1% on a clear growth action. The size keeps resistance low, but makes the new rule live. Environmental cue. Place a single index card on your wallet or laptop that reads your new clause. Each time you see it, the cue triggers the new rule. And the 30-second affirmation. Open your banking app or calendar, do the small action, and say your clause aloud for 30 seconds while you perform it. Action plus affirmation equals proof.
A quick caution. Old contracts can stir feelings. Shame, sadness, regret. If that happens, slow down. Journal for 5 minutes, pause the episode, and be gentle with yourself. If memories become overwhelming, consider support from a professional. We're rewriting rules, not reopening wounds without care.
A real-world quick test. The client I mentioned started with a 1% transfer. Within 2 weeks, she noticed fewer avoidant impulses. The index card on her laptop nudged a different choice. She said the new clause aloud before raising her rates. Small things proved a new identity. Proof builds momentum.
Recap quickly. 1. Identify the clause and its trigger. 2. Run the renegotiation ritual. Reframe, void, write using a sensory anchor. 3. Anchor with micro decisions, an environmental cue, and a 30-second action affirmation. Your one immediate experiment right now? Pick a recent money avoidance, write the clause in one line, and set a tiny 1% test you can do before the end of the day. That simple sequence converts an idea into measurable behavior.
If this episode helped you, do one small thing for this community. Leave a review that says what contract you tested and the result. Reviews create accountability, and your short report helps someone else try the same clean sequence. Think with intention. Move with purpose. Final encouragement. You don't have to rewrite everything at once. Run this 3-step sequence on one contract, build the evidence with tiny wins, then repeat. Over time, those small edits change the wiring behind your choices, and consistent small wins become steady financial momentum. Your frequency decides your reality. See you on the next episode where we unpack the mental habits that sustain long-term abundance.
Until next time, clarity over chaos, control over chance.